I love coaching. Hopefully they can learn quicker, faster. They're playing with even more weight on their shoulders. You make mistakes as well. I've made loads as a coach. When you walk away from the stadium, you go, our boys give everything they got. And that's where probably how I see it as a head coach now, getting that balance right.
Hi Steve, good to see you, and congratulations on being appointed as the Welsh coach, and thank you for joining us today.
No problem, thank you very much.
How does it feel now to be Welsh coach? You know, coming from Tonmawr, right, which is like Cymru really.
Yeah.
Do you pinch yourself now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just a privilege and an honour, and you realise as a kid growing up, the only thing I ever wanted to do was play for Wales, and I didn't get to do that, but this is probably the second best thing, and as close it can be to it. So, yeah, it's definitely an emotional moment, especially when you got the call to say that you're going to get the job, and then now when it becomes real, I think it will become even more real when we play Argentina. That's going to be an unbelievable emotional day. But there was definitely those pinch moments, and then when you drive to the stadium, you realise that you're the coach of this team, which is, yeah, super special. And where I come from in Tonmawr, the community, amazing people, and still my best friends there. Like, I remember being coached there and playing there as a kid, because I think that's the beauty. I feel so lucky that you get to represent that as well, and I feel massively proud of where I played my first game for Tonmawr, and I'm going to be just as proud when, well, obviously probably a little bit more when you represent your nation.
It will be an amazing experience the first day Argentina. How did your family and friends react? And also, you mentioned, you know, Tonmawr. How did they all react to the news?
I think everyone was overjoyed with it. Mum and Dad, obviously, and brother were absolutely so proud. And then my daughters and Karen, and again, you realise what other people have given up for you. And I think that you get those moments of what other people have done, so you understand that, but the absolute joy and the pride that it gives so many people associated with me, but also not just the close family, but the people who've helped you along the way as well. So, yeah, massive pride. But you get a reality check as soon as you go back to talk about rugby club. That you get brought back down to earth pretty rapidly.
Do you know a guy called Clive Livingston?
Yeah,
I played with Clive.
Well, Clive is my father's best mate.
Oh, is he?
So Clive.
Number 8, he's a number 8 for Tonmawr. He looked like Magnum, didn't he?
Yeah,
big moustache, big handful.
So, well, it's a small world. So, Clive's son Ross, we were best men for each other.
Oh, yeah.
So, unfortunately, Clive passed away a few years ago, which, yeah, great man, absolute legend of a player. Like, everyone talks about him in Tonmawr Rugby Club. So, yeah, so it's such a small world, and that's where you represent, and that's where, like, it's such a small world, the rugby community, and like I'm best mates with Ross, his sons. It's amazing.
Talking about, you know, keeping your feet firmly on the floor, right? Any of your ex-teammates been in touch?
Oh, there's loads of people been in touch, and well-wishers, and I think the overwhelming support from everyone, and I think that's been probably bigger than I thought it would be. Obviously, you knew you'd get support from family, but I think from so many people, from maybe walking into a shop, but your former teammates, and again, there's obviously lots of bit of banter with it as well, but no, I think the support has been amazing.
What was your first day in the job like for you?
Yeah, it's just awesome to get in the building, going up the NCE. I was just getting in, walking around, seeing the lay of the land. That was my first day, just getting to know people again, because I've been outside of Wales for 8 years, which it isn't that long a time, but it feels like a long time. We've come back and forth, so just getting, and a lot of familiar faces, some different faces, but also I think the first day going to the Principality, that was just the drive going into it, and just seeing the size of it and knowing that you're going to be part of that is unbelievable.
What was the first thing you did, though, for the first, you know, find your own parking spot? Or?
I definitely if someone give me a parking spot, I'd definitely park somewhere else. There's no way, like the people that know me, I definitely wouldn't want anything like that. I was parking around the corner, so Martin was saying, no, mate, you park. No. I said, I'll park around you and I'll walk around, thanks. So, yeah, no, definitely don't want to park. Oh, no, that'd be terrible.
You can't keep up the limelight now, mine.
Oh, there's no way. I'll try my best to stay out of it. I got to be honest, yeah, but no parking spot, no.
You've had a kind of a brilliant coaching career, up to now. You've been brave. you've gone, to the Waratahs, you've done with Scotland as well. How's your own coaching style? Have you picked different style, parts of different coaches, or have you got your own unique style? How do you say you are as a coach?
Yeah, I think I've learned unbelievable amounts from the journey being on and going to different countries, being around different coaches. I think as a human, still the same bloke, but you definitely grown as a coach. I believe around going to Australia was a massive thing for me, and just an outlook of how the Aussies see the game, how they see making mistakes as well. And like as an example, Welsh people, I think when they make a mistake will get down on themselves, or other people will tell them how many mistakes they've made. With the Aussies, I think, will make one, and they don't fear making another one. They'll just go and back their skills, and there'll be more of an encouragement and optimism around what they do.
Yeah.
So that's a massive thing, and that has definitely opened up my mind on the style of coach you want to be, but also how you create confidence and probably the safety for players to go and make mistakes and really back their instinct to go and play. Obviously, there'll be a structure and a system that you want to have the group to play, but you want them to. I want to create an environment which I think is part of the learning, where they feel, do you know what, they can really go and express themselves, but not also know on a Monday morning, if it's based on our game, they don't have a fear coming in and a panic, or they're playing with even more weight on their shoulders, because it's a big enough job as it is, playing in front of 70,000 people.
Do you enjoy, it's such a pressurized job. Do you enjoy coaching?
I love coaching. I love being on the grass. I do. I love it, and I love the fact of, hopefully my job is to hopefully give them a little bit extra to stimulate them to be better players. Also, I think part of coaching as well, you get to know the person. I think the more you know the person, the more I think you can have the harder conversations, but also the encouraging ones as well. And I think that is the best bit for me, is the people. So I think the more you know the people, the more you can connect with them. And that's being genuine as well. I don't think you need to be always chatting around tech-tack stuff. You need to talk about normal stuff. They've got normal lives. Yeah. So that for me is a big part, and that's the bit I love. And I probably always think of it as, if people were coaching my daughters, what I'd want them to be coached like, and how I'd want them to go on the field, whatever they do, to know that the coach is behind them. They can go and really, truly just give the best version of themselves when they set foot on the field.
Gatlin was like a long-serving coach. As a proud Welshman now, right, back living here, how do you feel, the pressure to deliver as a Welshman,
I think probably coming more game day. Yeah. I think, I don't know. It's a weird thing. I know there's pressure to deliver, but ultimately, I'll be myself when I'm doing it. And I think I'm probably more confident than ever in who I am and what I believe in. And I think at the end of the day, you've got to be uncomfortable. Like, coaching your national team is going to be uncomfortable. But I think to be better, and all the experiences I've had, then this is an unbelievable opportunity to go and do that and be part of a young group that probably needs a little bit of nurturing, which I'm excited to be part of. Yeah.
Been tough times for the team lately, with defeats, unfortunately. What will you do differently that will bring smiles to the Welsh rugby fans again?
I think that's a great question. I think at the end of the day, I think what we've got to have an identity when people come to the stadium to go, do you know what, we've seen a Welsh team play like we believe they can do, and I think that's something that we are talking about as coaches now, is what does that look like, and I think speaking to lots of players of how passionate they are and how they go, I think what we want more than anything is, when 70,000 people come to the stadium, they know that when they leave the stadium, that was Wales, and I think over a period of time they want to go, do you know what, really proud of that team, irrelevant of result sometimes, because there are going to be some great teams we play against, but when you walk away from the stadium, you go, that our boys give everything they got, and around the belief and the bravery that they want to attack the game.
How tough was it as well, because you've built, a strong Scottish team now. They maybe should have won the championship a couple of times. Yeah. Could be winning in the next couple of years. What motivated you then to come back, leave that? Obviously, they're a better side at the moment than Wales, to come back and coach, Wales.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It was a tough decision. I don't think I would have gone anywhere else. Like an opportunity for like this, I think, and to be come back to your nation. And I think probably going back a bit, the Scotland team were amazing. Like the boys were incredible, staff, everything about. I loved my time in Scotland. I can't speak highly enough there, and I think that tells you how important this job is to me. Because, like you said, I wouldn't have walked for anything. We have built a team, and those players have built that themselves as well. They've been incredible to work with, and having the ability to go into Glasgow, into Edinburgh, go on lots of learning opportunities there. But I think through all those experiences, and probably the biggest thing is when you see someone like Dewi so emotional, and you see how passionate he wants to play, and he's given a post-match interview, and he's upset, he's emotional, and probably when you see things like that, and I feel, do you know what, I want to be part of the journey that we're going to go through in this bit. I want to be in that, and I do see the passion in around our players, passion around our fans. We've got the best stadium in the world. Why wouldn't you want to come back to be part of this? And I know, like you said, we've been in the place where we wouldn't have wanted to be, but why can't we change that? And I believe we can.
I think as well, see what the emotion they had, when they beat Japan, what it meant for them, right? Have you spoken, it's with the uncertainty and the lack of stability in the regional game now, what kind of environment do you want to create within the Welsh team itself, outside of those regions?
Yeah, I think you want an environment where, firstly, can't wait to come. I've spoken to most of the boys, and they are so passionate about playing for Wales, and it's about how we create an environment where hopefully they can learn quicker, faster, like how we create an environment to stimulate them, but also create an environment where they feel, do you know what, whenever they take the field, they're ready to go. They believe that they're very clear in around what type of game we want to play, and they can go on there and truly express themselves with not having, there'll be obviously anxiety and fear going on to the pit, but we want to free them up as much as we possibly can, so that actually they can just focus on being the best they can be when they walk onto that principal.
I remember the All Blacks, even in kind of early 90s, that's all the All Blacks wanted to do was take everything away from the players so that they could focus on just their job of playing and be the best that they possibly can. Yeah,
and I think that's the balance now with the younger group, how you strip out, and obviously, but I think that's as well where we can, because of the size of our nation, we can get the players in and out the campaigns as well. So I think there's lots of opportunities for us to actually help be part of, give feedback, be there for when maybe there needs to be improvements or whatever, or growth in around the game. So I think, there's loads of great opportunities for us.
Having been, bravely travelled to, enhance your coaching career, will you bring kind of points from the Australian game or the Scottish game into the Welsh game?
Yeah, I think the opportunity I've had to go and learn, I think it's the way you coach as well, the way you question, the way you teach. Also, there are certain attributes where being around different coaches like Darrell, Gats, Gregor, I've been so lucky to be around those people. They do challenge your view in the game as well, and for the good. And I think if you're open-minded enough, whereas definitely defensive orientated of where I've been, but then being around someone like Gregor and Darrell who are very it definitely opens your mind up to things of, well, you can't be so far left if you want to play a brand of rugby as well, of what you want to be excited about, and also to score points as well. So there's definitely lots of things over the past, and that's where probably how I see it as a head coach now, getting that balance right.
Are you confident Wales have got the players to be, a force in World Rugby again?
Yeah, I do believe in the players in Wales. I think we've still got a few experienced boys around, which is great, but I see the talent underneath. I was up doing some bit of coaching with the 20s the other day, the academy boys and things coming through. I do believe it's there. I think it's how we connect that a little bit tighter, and how, I suppose, everyone gets behind that. And I think it is around, whether it be coaching, support, media, whatever. This is a young group that are going to need so much support, but I definitely believe we've got the young players, or the players all round, who are super passionate, and they want to do the very best for the country.
We mentioned, doing this job is one of the proudest moments, but it'll come to a climax, the first game when you walk out in Principality, right? Yeah. How will you cope? How do you usually cope with the kind of cocktail of emotions, adrenaline, kind of worry on match day?
Yeah, it's probably, I find it worse as a coach. Yeah, definitely find it worse as a coach. Whereas a player, you know you're in control of it and actually you're on the field. Whereas that handover piece, whereas you just want the boys to do well. And for themselves, it's not probably for me, but you just want the boys to come off the field. You know, as a player, when you come off, if you haven't done something quite the way you wanted to go. So I think just you were willing them to enjoy the moment of playing the game. But it'll definitely be emotional. I'm not, if I just think about, I try not to think too far ahead, but the bus trip in, then you just, I think as well, when I think about that day, I genuinely think about all the people that have helped you along this journey, and I think that's probably makes it even more emotional of, like you go back to when you were talking about Tom Howe earlier, my first ever coach, the optimism, the way he spoke about the game, the love he had for it, definitely carried through into me. Then I feel like you said, brave decision to go to Australia, the support I had from Karen and my 3 daughters to go there for 6 months and we had it was still a young family, and then uprooting and stuff. So I think the representation of all the people that helped you, and then actually hopefully having 70,000 people there, and then being part of that the Welsh camp is just going to be unreal. I'm
delighted that you've had the job in the Welsh course, because the one thing when I went away from Welsh rugby league or whatever, it broadened my horizons not only as a player but as a human being really, and you didn't see how parochial Welsh rugby was, and you can add that because a lot of these players still only play in Wales. Yeah. So to give that insight into give it to those young players, I think will be massive help. I think it's helped me as well, and I think that's where you don't know what you don't know. No. I'm going away, and like you said, I think you hit it on the head there. Going away, learning to actually adapt to a different country, like with 3 kids. Yeah. Obviously, me adapted to the sun. Yeah. With factor 50 was massive as well. Those bits, but I think, and again, the different culture pieces and how I think seeing the things that are amazing about Welsh people as well and Welsh players, and then, well, how can we grow or adapt those? Because that's where I definitely feel I've adapted as a coach and become a little bit more rounded. You're always being around great people and doing different things. But I think that bit as well. And I think as well, just for our boys, the young group is, you make mistakes as well. I've made loads as a coach, but actually it's not the end of the world. It's like, well, if you've got the mindset to go, well, do you know what? I can always be better. I can always, like, learning from the mistake, or learning from the defeat, or learning from the winning, whatever it is, there's always lessons to be taken from it. So I think that is something as well with the young group we want to go to as well. What do you expect from the autumn series? Big games. You're going into the big lot, and there's no easy games in international rugby, especially the big 3 that you're playing. No, I seen when I was up back in Scotland, one of the boys, he loves his football. He said, "I've seen the fixtures. What are you doing?" Because they're playing Chile, isn't they? Yeah. I mean, I think it's some of that. But he said, "What are you doing?" He said, "What a start." I'm like, well, that's what we want to be, though, isn't it? As a nation, we want to be playing the best teams in the world. I think it's super exciting. And again, Argentina, incredible team, beating the Lions, and then Japan into New Zealand, South Africa. Then, like, again, I just think it's exciting. And now we want to create our own identity. And I think for that, focusing on ourselves as well and what we want to be. Like, at the end of the day, you can always look at what's come in and be, this they've got, but actually we've got to, I think, really look hard in the mirror what we want to be and how we can be ourselves on that pitch. Brilliant. Right, Steve, if you weren't a rugby player, coach, what would you be doing? Probably be a teacher or like working with young kids around. What's your favourite pizza topping? Just meat. Just put as much meat in it as you possibly can. Ditto. A celebrity that would play you in the film. There's no way I'm going to say one. No, go on, you got to say it. There's so many bald-headed men out there. I was thinking Van Diesel or someone like that. Well, Joe, I'll take that. Right, what's your karaoke song? I'm an absolutely terrible singer, but if I had to commit to something, it'd be Eagles, Take It Easy. Oh, good song. Out of all your ex-teammates or coaches, who's the tightest? Oh, that's easy. Definitely outside. Mike Blair.
Scotland.
What was it like being refed by Nigel Owens? Have any stories?
Class referee. I definitely would have had some run-ins on the field because I wouldn't have been easy to deal with. I got no doubt in my mind, but not, yeah, class.
What's your prized possession outside of your family?
The Lions jersey I've got, like as a coach.
Whose poster do you have on your wall as a kid?
Obviously it's going to be really boring. It's probably Rugby.
Best player you played with?
I'm going to go be greedy and have two. I think Shane and then obviously Alan Wynne.
Steve, thanks mate.
Thank you very much.
Wishing you all the best. The whole nation will be behind you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers,
I really
boy.
appreciate that.
Good
Thank
luck.
you very much.
Good luck.